What's going on, guys? Before we get into today's episode, Kyle, Isaac, and myself just want to take a minute to acknowledge the events of yesterday and to say a prayer for Charlie Kirk, his wife Erica, their two children, and the community that he leaves behind.
Let's be honest, we got to raise our game in this culture. Go look to your grandfather's generation that stormed Normandy Beach, that built this nation, that started big businesses, that went on adventure. If the most important thing for you is just feeling good, you're going to end up miserable. But if the most important thing is doing good, you will end up purposeful. Purpose will give you happiness. You see, we live in a country where they think that happiness is pleasure. We know that purpose is above all of this. Serving God, understanding why we are here, that we are made in His image, that there is a struggle of good versus evil. By the way, you're involved in that struggle every single day on the college campuses.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 2 of the Rest Period After Dark. Week 1 of the NFL just finished up this week. We got a lot of interesting games, a lot of interesting storylines to talk about. A lot of predictions, I think, are starting to move in the right direction from episode 1. But yeah, it should be a good one. And I'm, of course, the Hulk, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Kyle Lombardi and Matt Nimmin, aka Matt Goggins.
Man, I hate to say it, but we might be the best analysts in the league after week 1. We had a few takes that really just came to fruition.
I think so.
I think the big one might have been Danny Dimes.
Indiana Jones. That's his new nickname.
Indiana Jones. Wow, that's actually a cool one. That guy played out of his mind, man.
Yeah. He had an incredible first game. The Colts were just clicking. Like, literally everything they did went right. They basically shut him out on defense. The one touchdown they got was in garbage time, and we scored on every single possession. Every single possession we scored points. We had 3 turnovers and beat the Miami Dolphins 33-8 in our home opener, and that's our first time winning a home opener since 2007 with Andrew Luck.
That's crazy. Ushering in a new era.
I guess that wasn't 2007. It was like 2013. But whatever. It was with Andrew Luck. It was a while ago.
And they had seven possessions in a row. 7 possessions in a row, and they scored, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't think they've done that ever, right? I mean, that's crazy, man.
Yep.
They were freaking rolling, man. Let's go. Woo!
And Danny Dimes had a passing touchdown to Michael Pittman, and I think he either had 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns. So, pretty incredible game. Pretty incredible. But I'm not going to hold my breath. If they can Miami's not very good. Their defense is not very good. It was banged up. They look really bad. Tua looked really bad. If we can do the same thing against the Broncos this week, I think we're going in the right direction. Because the Broncos are good. We said that the Broncos are going to be good. So,
yeah, Pat McAfee has been he's been hyping up the Colts. So the Rest Period podcast, Rest Period After Dark, we're hyping the Colts.
Nobody was
Pat
hyping the
McAfee's
Colts.
been hyping those Colts. I don't think anyone else in the country is hyping the Colts. So I think we're onto something, boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Before week 1, nobody was hyping up the Colts other than right here on the Rest Period podcast. Now all of a sudden, everybody wants to join the hype train that we started.
Man, I heard you guys start hyping the Colts last September, if I'm honest. It's been,
Oh, yeah.
You guys have seen this coming for the better part of a year now.
Yeah, we knew. We knew as soon as Danny Dimes was getting in there that he was going to win this starting job and that he was going to go off. Me and Kyle started talking about Danny Dimes back in, like, May.
I'm telling you what, man, we're looking pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are like, how did they know? You know what? Like, the Hulk and I know Colts, and Goggins put them in the playoffs. All three of us have been really hype. Like, we're hype training this team, but now it looks pretty legit. So, man, if they go beat the Broncos, I'm a little bit mad
Yeah.
at myself. I didn't put the Colts in the playoffs, so I'm kind of like questioning that now. Because you two put them in the playoffs, I'm kind of like, ooh, they're just as good as we were hyping them up to be, and maybe better. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll take my picks back and I'll put the Colts in the playoffs.
Well, the Jaguars went and got their win in early because they beat the Panthers in week 1.
Yeah, that was definitely
Which,
the weakest matchup of week 1. It's got to be
yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
But
Houston lost though. Houston took an L this week too, which is great for the Colts. Maybe the Colts can win the division. Maybe Matt was right on the money with that.
we'll see. I will say they didn't just win too. Like Danny Dimes looked like a prime, like middle 2000s era quarterback. He looked like a prime Phillip Rivers, or like I think he kind of reminded me of Phillip Rivers. He's got the height, he's got the confidence,
Yeah.
he's got a better throwing motion. So you got a lot going for you.
Yeah,
He's
and
way
by
more
far,
athletic than Philip. I mean, Daniel Jones can run. Hulk said it. He scored 2 touchdowns running. He had 34 points in our fantasy league. He was number 2 in the NFL. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy, dude. That's freaking awesome, man.
by far though, like the biggest contributor though was the offensive line. I mean, Danny Dimes had all day back there. They could get like no penetration. The offensive line was kicking ass. Our running game was awesome. Like we sat Jonathan Taylor for like almost the entire second half, just because we were running the ball so well with our backup running back, and we were already up 33-0 basically, or 30-0.
I got to ask about Tua. So Goggins, you were liking Tua. Starts off a little rough. Now, you got to tell me, like, we're hyping the Colts, but you like Tua this year. I think he's going to play better. So I have Tyreek Hill on my fantasy team. I kind of need them to pick it up a little bit. So tell me the Dolphins are not what we saw in week 1.
Man, I was talking a lot of hype about the Dolphins, but they did not show up. They looked a little bit more like a high school football team, I would say. They didn't really have anything going on offense. I wouldn't say that their cornerbacks really made any plays. But no, the Dolphins are kind of that team. Like, I feel like remember a few years ago they started off 0-7 and they still almost made the playoffs. I feel like that's a very Dolphins thing to do. Just come out of the gates absolutely flat-footed. And then once they start playing, their AFC East opponents, start getting comfortable winning football games, and then, get warmed up with the Jets, Patriots, and then next thing you know, they sneak a few wins. So I'm not giving up completely. And I think, after everything Tua's been through, like, he hasn't seen a lot of live football in the last couple of years, or at least the last year. So it's gonna take some time, I think, but they definitely have like some raw firepower down there. It's just a matter of if they can all stay on the field, get comfortable playing together again, and yeah, we'll see. I'm not totally giving up hope on their outside shot at a wild card.
I agree with you. I think that speaks to week 1's kind of a liar. I've heard this a lot in the past 15 years in the NFL. You never look at week 1 as the truth of a season, and it's so true, man. You can never, like, the Dolphins aren't as bad as they looked. The Colts probably aren't as good as they looked, but they're really good, I think. But it's kind of every team we saw this week. It's like, what is the true colors of that team? I mean, we're going to find out in the next 5 to 6 weeks, but week 1 usually is not the indicator of everything that's going to happen, but it's still cool to say the Colts played well, man. I don't, like, we can say week 1 doesn't matter, but dude, they came out, they played well. The Dolphins look terrible. That means something. But yeah, the Dolphins, I think they can come back. I think they can make the playoffs still, maybe.
Yeah, and if the Colts can come back this week and get a win over the Broncos at home, their next couple of games are division games, but they're against the Titans and the Jags. So we'll be in a good spot early season to potentially get out to a 4-0 record, which would be incredible. But yeah, I mean, Tua committed every single turnover in that game. 2 picks and a fumble. Even our defensive end picked him off. One of his picks was our defensive end. He backed up. He backed up and covered like the check down guy and picked off Tua. And then Cameron Bainham, who we just picked up from the Vikings, got a pick too.
You can say a lot of things about Tua, but you definitely can't say that he doesn't distribute the football. That's for sure. He'll find
That is
guys
true.
one way or another.
Yes, sir.
He'll find one of the teams, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really good. He's really good at distributing the wealth, even to the other teams.
All right, fine. We got to go into the Rams. I want to hear Matt Goggins. Give me your take on the LA Rams.
I mean, I think before we get into the Rams, that's prime time for me to pop the Rogan because
We're dangerous.
Dangerous. I don't have a Rogan, but dangerous.
Hey, Hulk, we'll get you. We're going to have him by next week. We got this, right?
Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of the Rams, I was actually wrong. Our week 4 game, the Colts are going to LA to take on Matt Goggins' Rams. That's gonna be huge.
we might have to go live for that one. There might be
That might be a
there
live
might be some
game.
money on the line. There might be some blood on the
Danny
line.
Dimes versus Old Man Stafford.
Yeah.
I'm
That'd be a
telling
good
you,
one.
Stafford's just one hit away. He's just one hit away from coming out on there with a cane.
That's 2 titans of the league going head to head. You know.
2 Titans.
2 titans of the league.
But no, in all
right,
seriousness,
fine,
I
yeah.
think
Tell us.
yeah. I mean, it's all about the prodigious Rams defense, as I was saying last week. You know, they got just top to bottom a lot of dogs out there. Star-studded roster. Ghost of Aaron Donald continuing to shine his light on the boys. Yeah, I mean, anytime you only give up 7 points, it's going to be hard to lose that game. I
Gave
feel
up
like,
9 points, by the way. They give up 9.
How did they? Well, same thing. When you got Matt Stafford, and you don't really worry. You don't worry too much about what the other team has. You don't worry too much about how many points the other team's scoring. I'll tell you that.
It wasn't. I'm just gonna say that it wasn't Matt Stafford that won you that game. They only scored 14 points.
No, but he looked good. Like
It's a low-scoring game. I think both teams look kind of bad.
Well, he had a few plays. Let's see, he had 245 pass yards, 21 completions. He just, he nickeled and dimed. Like 20 yards up the middle, 10 yards to the sidelines. What else do you need from the old man? Like that's leadership.
That's how old men. That's how old men play football for sure.
Puka 10 receptions,
I don't know if it wins
130
games.
yards. Devontae 4 receptions, 50 yards. I mean, those are some amateur stats, and we still beat a former playoff team. So if we can do that to the Texans, you got to look out.
This is what I think. I think the Texans offense, they're having that post preseason hangover. It's kind of they're a little bit slow getting back out, but you see that game again, like in the middle of the season. I think Houston absolutely wipes the floor with the Rams. I think their offense has just got that kind of firepower. I don't think the Rams defense stands a chance. You can't even name anybody on their defense.
Well, I'll tell you the good news is that we're not going to see that game again in the middle of the season. So
It's true.
That's there's no L's coming our way. That's the first of 17.
But Goggins, if you're going to be hyping up their defense, you got to at least know somebody on their defense.
I'll give
Who's
him
your-
one.
You would
give
not
him one.
believe.
Who's your
Yeah,
favorite
I'll say-
player on the Rams defense?
You would not
Goggins?
believe the things that I hype with little to no knowledge, Hulk. It's a very important trait, very important skill. It's called
Yeah.
blind confidence. It'll get
Jared Verse. Hey, Goggins. Jared
Yeah.
Verse is a really good player for you guys. There you go.
Jared Verse. Ask me in 20 minutes. I won't be able to tell you.
He was a
Um,
first-round pick last year for the Rams. He played pretty well all season. One of the best rookies last year. He's one of their better guys.
I will say though, like the Rams, they're a LA team. They're a vibes team. They're not they're not a player focused team. They're a vibe team. What more can you ask for? LA. generally mediocre, but sell a lot of tickets and make enough playoffs to stay in business. What else do you need?
I think overall, Rams Texans was one of the more boring games of the week. Um,
That's a good call, actually. Yeah.
I think if we really want to start talking about some of the big games this week, we got to talk about. I mean, we got to get into that Bills Ravens game. Now that was a game to watch. High scoring, came down to the wire. I mean, that's what people love about football. Lots of scoring, close games. I mean, that was just a great game, and obviously Josh Allen got it done at the end.
What do you guys think about that being like, I know AFC championship level kind of matchup? It just was so fun. You had, Josh versus Lamar. You had Derrick Henry versus Cook. You had, the defenses didn't play great, but guys made plays when they had to, kind of thing. It was fun, man. You got two of the star quarterbacks, and you had the last 2 years, those are your MVPs in the NFL. I don't think that had ever happened in the NFL where the first week of the NFL season, the last two MVPs face each other. I thought it was freaking brilliant, man. Like, why don't we do that more during the season? You know what I mean? Like, the NFL doesn't do that enough. Like, put our star marquee guys against each other more often. And I mean, Lamar and Josh Allen, that's a prime example of what could happen. I think it was awesome, man. It was one of my favorite, probably my favorite game of the week,
Yeah, and then the Bills' ability to stay in that game and ultimately win that game. We were talking about this at the gym. That's like some Tom Brady stuff. That's some prime Bill Belichick Brady. Like, they don't play themselves out of the game. They kind of control the mistakes. Start turning some what look like scoreless possessions into points, and next thing you know, like, you got a shot in the fourth quarter. I fell asleep at the start of the fourth quarter. They were down 15. And when I woke up and saw they won, I was like, what in the world happened? I'm watching it back. It's like, that's just like superior management. And it really only happens when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen, who, if you can get him on the field with the ball, you always have a shot. So, but surprised to see, Derrick Henry kind of fold in the second half, and Lamar a bit too, the last couple of possessions, because they looked solid. They looked unstoppable halfway through that game.
Yeah, freaking Josh Allen. That's the reason I lost this week in fantasy, was because of that guy. Because I was like, I had like 150 points because of Lamar, and then all of a sudden, Josh Allen comes out of nowhere in the middle of that game and ends up dropping like almost 50 points for the guy I was playing. Like I said, we talked about this on the side, but it's crazy that I can score the third most out of all the teams in our league and still lose. That's just not even fair.
That's the wild world of fantasy football, man. Yeah. I mean, Josh Allen, I watched the whole game because I'm a Bills fan, and I don't know why I stayed up, but dude, it was just magic in the air. And it reminded me of that game where in the playoffs, he took the Chiefs, right to the ropes. I mean, he had them on the ropes, right? Unfortunately, Mahomes figured it out somehow, and they still won that game. But I mean, Josh Allen played so well, and sometimes his defense fails him, right? And I've seen this over the years. They gave up 40 points. Let's not be cute here. That's pretty bad. So they were getting their, they were getting whooped a little bit, man. Derrick Henry made him look foolish multiple times. They got to stop the run. I mean, that's pretty bad. But hey, to have Josh Allen, who, I don't know, man, he's MVP caliber again this year, obviously. But James Cook had a huge play, and I know Hulk got him on his fantasy team, which is huge for him. But dude, James Cook had a monster play in the end of that game, just showing his athleticism and his speed. Almost scored a touchdown late, which was huge. So they got a lot of guys, man. They got a lot of players that can make plays. So I don't know. Did you guys see, like, near the end of the game, the former Packer making a few mistakes on the Ravens? Did you guys see that?
I did see that. I did.
Yeah, I felt bad for Jair, man. I was like,
Yeah.
the old Packer, I used to root for this guy, and then basically, Josh Allen was just throwing the ball over top of him and making him look a little bit foolish. But to be fair, the Packers cut Jair last year. Weird timing that he would be the guy that they kind of attack at the end of that game, and basically he lost the game for the Ravens. It's like, hey, you always root for a guy that was a former Packer, but in that moment, dude, I'm like, yeah, go at that boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, go after him, take him out. So Jair didn't look so hot. I'm not sure what's going on there, but Josh Allen, man, he's just clutch. He makes the throws when he needs to. It's just special. It's freaking special, man. It's Mahomes level, but Mahomes has come through in those moments against Josh. So we've already said this in our previous podcast. I think it's Josh's year. So
yeah, we'll say.
I think Josh Allen. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we'll say silver lining for the Ravens, that DeAndre Hopkins first reception as a Raven, that was filthy. He still got it. The old guys still got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Josh Allen, in a lot of ways is better than Mahomes in a lot of aspects, but he's just missing that clutch factor that's given Mahomes so much success. He's just been able to get it done in those tight moments, the clutch moments that are the difference between the team that wins the Super Bowl and the team that loses in the AFC Championship game. So, yeah.
And that's the truth, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Mahomes, though, how about the Chargers taking him out week 1?
Goggins got to take that. He was hyping up the Chargers, man. Yeah.
Herbert had a huge game.
It's the end of the era. They're taking down the Andy Reid statue in Kansas City. They're wrapping it up, bringing the boys back home. They had a good run. They can go listen to some Taylor Swift and listen to Travis and his brother the rest of the year, because I don't think they're going to be winning nearly as much as they have the last few seasons. So I don't know. I'm happy. I think the Chargers, it's nice to see them close them out. Like that was a quintessential game the Chargers figure out how to lose, and they didn't. Maybe it was something in the air in Brazil, but the Chargers, they got over the hump. So it's good to see.
Yeah, I don't think he likes it in Brazil. I think it's too hot or something. I don't know. It's definitely not that hot in Kansas.
He's got too much hair. Yeah, that kind of thing.
In Missouri.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. Doesn't like the beaches.
Definitely something in here.
I wonder what the temperature was, because, I mean, if you think about it, if the Chiefs host a playoff game in January, we could be looking at like 100-degree difference in terms of the weather, which is just a different game. But
yeah, we were talking about that division, and we were talking about how the Chiefs are going to have a down year. They're the only team in their division that didn't win their week 1 game. Even the Raiders picked up a win, so it's pretty incredible.
Pete Carroll was cheering that gum, man. Yeah, he was all about it. Pete
Carroll was chewing that gum for sure.
He was full of energy. I think the Chiefs, Matt and I were talking a little bit today, but man, they're due for a 10-year drought. There you go. They're going to miss the playoffs 10 straight years.
I think it's still hard to count them out just yet. I mean, they seem to have plenty of help on the sidelines from the white and black stripes. So I'm sure they'll come in critical moments to save Mahomes' ass again.
Yeah, no, I mean, in all seriousness, I'm sure the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs and be a pain to anybody who's got to play them. But it's just nice to see them lose a game. They win so many close games, and there's always some antics around their wins. So, just nice to see them lose to a division rival.
And they're not going to have a 10-year drought of the playoffs, but I just feel like they should. Does that make sense to you guys? I'm really upset.
Yeah.
Because, man, we want the Colts. Obviously, Matt kind of likes the Chargers on the AFC side. I obviously want the Bills to make their run. It's just like the Chiefs have been that team for how many years now in a row? You're just like, man, it's annoying, right? You kind of want to move on. It's like the Patriots. We couldn't freaking... No one could take the Patriots for many, many years. It's just good. It feels good when they lose like 6 to 8 games in a season, and you're like, okay, they're not invincible anymore, right? But Andy Reid's a great coach, and Mahomes is tough, right? I get it, but we just kind of want someone else to take the title, right? Like it could be the Colts. I mean, I'm serious. I don't know why, but like all these people are kind of like, all of a sudden the Colts are now the team that everyone's kind of hyping up. I was joking about Rest Period After Dark and Pat McAfee, but I've seen people saying that. Like there's a lot of people out there, like they're kind of riding the Colts coattails here a little bit. They didn't really know too much about them. But dude, I think everyone just wants someone else, right? Not the Chiefs. It could be the Chargers, Colts. I don't give a, you know what, like just give me somebody else to take it this year, and it would just make football more fun, man. For all of us, I think. But
Yeah, and as long as they have Andy Reid and Mahomes, like that they're going to be good, and like an off year, they're going to bounce back pretty quick. So people have to capitalize. If the Chiefs are weak, take it to them. Like don't let them sneak into the playoffs. Just let them feel some of that pain. Make it a bad year. Just give them a full reset.
I think for sure they're going to make the playoffs, even if they get like a wild card spot and they don't win their division. I think it'd be pretty hard at this point to count them out unless they just go on a major losing streak and they just keep losing, which would be great to see because, kind of like we were just talking about. I mean, I just hate to root for that team that wins all the time. It's so much more fun to root for the underdog. It always is.
They have a pretty tough schedule looking at their next few weeks ahead, too. Chiefs have the Eagles, Ravens, and Lions all within the next 5 weeks.
Wow.
They could easily be
all losable games.
Yeah, they could be around 500 halfway through the season, so it gets a bit easier on the back half, but we'll see.
And they have a tough division, I think, man. We talked Broncos, Chargers, Raiders might be a little bit better than people gave him credit for. I mean, we talked about it our last episode, but Pete Carroll, we joke, he chews a lot of gum fast and all that, but he's got Geno Smith, he's got Ashton Genty. Man, they kind of like the Patriots. I thought would be a little bit better. That was kind of surprising to me that the Patriots didn't pull that game off. I know Matt, you're a little bit of a Patriots fan, but it was like they just didn't show up. With Mike Vrabel, new head coach. Like I don't know, they got outplayed badly. I thought, it was a little surprising to me.
Yeah, that's not surprising to me at all, Kyle. I think that the Patriots culture is taking a little bit of a hiatus for a few years. I don't think people think Drake May's the guy. I don't think I think we're just happy to be here for the time being. Win a few games, continue to stock up some young talent, and try again in like 2028 maybe. We'll see. We're still carrying a lot of hardware, and you gotta drop some of the weight.
How about the Jets though? They scored 32 points behind Justin Fields, but kind of the other storyline in that game, like we were talking about, is Aaron Rodgers, who threw 4 touchdowns that game and threw for 244 yards. So maybe A-Rod still got it. Maybe he still got it. Maybe he wants to go win one more Super Bowl with the Steelers, which would be crazy. But Justin Fields had a good game. I mean, they just barely lost that game. But, I mean, if their offense can put up 32 points, I think they're going to have a pretty decent year.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson had a solid day, too. I think I said this last week, but, again, being a Patriots fan, I don't love the Jets, but it's kind of fun to see them, show a little life. Maybe pull an upset here or there, because I like Justin Fields. Like, it's be cool to see him kind of have a little bit of like a revival arc and put something together in New York. But the franchise, a couple years ago, I feel like, it's nice to see them show a little grit.
Yeah, Fields is on my fantasy team, and I had him on the bench, which I just look really dumb because he had 33 points on fantasy, and I'm like, okay, I probably got to start him now. So I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I should have started him. But Breece Hall, man, the running back, he's a tank. He's no joke. I think he He was one of the best rushers in week 1 in fantasy in real life. Garrett Wilson's really good. Dude, they got some serious talent actually on the offense. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they challenge people. They're not going to win a lot of games, but they're going to challenge people, and I like that, right? Because I had the Steelers in the playoffs, so the Jets played right with them. So that's a little bit surprising. Aaron had 4 touchdowns. He's got a lot of weapons, man. He's got DK Metcalf. He's got Caleb Johnson, a running back from Iowa, rookie. I think he's really good. Freiermuth at tight end. And then I think Calvin Austin, he kept connecting with Calvin Austin. So it was a pretty good performance for a 41-year-old man. Yeah, so I'm impressed with Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to do what Mike Tomlin wanted. He's going to get him in the playoffs, and he's going to give him the best shot they've had in the last 4 to 5 years to make a run. But I'm not so sure if they'll make a run, obviously, but it's cool that he played well. So
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. A 41-year-old throwing 4 touchdowns on his 3rd team in the last 3 seasons he really played. Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, some quarterbacks last forever. Some quarterbacks last forever.
There's something in those ayahuasca tents down in Costa Rica, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he got married. I think, in the offseason. So, right? Ayahuasca, he got married. Hey, man, like, people make fun of Aaron Rodgers, but he's 41 in the NFL. Like, that's freaking, that's pretty cool. You know, how many guys can say they did that? I think even if they're terrible this year, it's still a great story, you know. Because Tom Brady, he was 43 when he went to the Buccaneers and won a Super Bowl. It's like, that's so rare. That's rare air. So, you know, I definitely give Aaron credit on the physical side. Like, dude, I know it's a grind in football, so it's cool that he's still doing it. And you know, we all hope like Mahomes does that and Josh Allen does that and all these guys do that. But, you know, most of them, they end up getting an injury or something happens. It's pretty rare for a guy to make it past 35. So you got to give Aaron a lot of credit on that end, I think. So.
Yeah, here's a stat for you. Brett Favre, last season in the NFL, 41 years old, 11 touchdowns, 19 picks. So Aaron's outpacing the man himself. So see if he can keep it going.
That's a pretty impressive stat. It's pretty impressive. Even Brett Favre, Father Time's undefeated against these guys. They get too old. They can't throw the football like they used to, but Aaron's kind of defeating it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive in general just for quarterbacks to go to a new team and then still win a Super Bowl. I mean, there's very few that I think that have done that. I mean, obviously Peyton did that at the end of his career. Tom Brady did that at the end of his career. So, I mean, it'd be impressive if, you know, Aaron Rodgers can join that esteemed group.
I think they're not going to win the Super Bowl, but hey, we just got to give them a lot of credit, man. So it's going back, Peyton Manning. So I got to ask you, Hulk. So the last time the Colts were winning the Super Bowl, Peyton Manning was your quarterback, right? He left, went to Denver. You get Andrew Luck, and then obviously his career got shortened by an injury. You really haven't had a great quarterback since. Going back to the Colts, sorry to go back to this, but did Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones, whatever you want to call him, you know, did he bring you back to those days of like, wow, we actually have a guy? You know, did it feel that way to you?
Yeah, I mean, the entire game, it felt like the team was clicking. Like, you know, he might be the missing link that we needed. Like, I've said for a while that I think the Colts are really good. Like, we have a lot of the keys that will make us a good team. We've just been missing that final piece, which, I mean, it really just goes to show just how important having a solid quarterback is. It kind of meld everything together, but we have good receivers, you have good running backs, you have a good offensive line. Our defense is pretty solid. Our secondary is pretty solid. We have good D linemen. We just needed that quarterback, and if Daniel Jones is going to be that guy, I don't see what would stop us from making a run in the playoffs this year. So, I mean, he really looked good. I mean, he's obviously no Peyton Manning. He doesn't play at all like Peyton Manning, especially with those rushing touchdowns. But no, I mean it's awesome. I'm excited for the rest of the year.
Can I go? Can I go to the Packers Lions game now? What do you guys think? Can I
Yeah, that
just
was
can
what
I
I
just
was
get
going to
a
talk about next. I mean,
just
that's the next big game.
that's
Next
just like
big
the game. Us three want to talk about it, right? Like, um, can I just want to start on the defensive side. You guys can go wherever you want, offense, anything like that. All I can say is us three were right. You know, we talked about Jerry Jones, the trade. Rest period after dark kind of called this already, but like, man, Jerry, I don't know. Like, you traded us a guy, Micah Parsons, who I don't know. He impacted the game immediately, right? He was quick off the edge. He was causing some havoc. You know, quickly getting in Jared Goff's face. He got a sack, chasing him down from the backside. He had 18.47 miles per hour in that play. I actually saw that stat. And I was like, one, that guy's so fast. Like, people don't even understand how fast that is for his size. But you know, Jerry, just thank you. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. You really helped us out. Okay. Like, after one game, I already see it. You know, it's a special defense. The Lions, I don't think they didn't lose a road game last year. And we decimated their offense. I mean, it was incredible. I understand they had transition of coordinators and some stuff, but Micah Parsons is that big of a deal to me. So you guys can dive into anything else, but that was cool.
Well, kind of pivoting from just the game itself. I don't know if you're kicking yourself a little bit about picking up Jamar Gibbs and Montgomery and having them on the same team. They didn't really have a great game. They didn't get very many touches.
I'm not. I think so. Last year, Gibbs was the number one running back in fantasy. Montgomery was top 10. So, I mean, dude, it's one of those things. The Packers defense played well. Hey, every week's different, you know. It's like week one is a liar, though. The Lions offense isn't that bad. Our defense is really good, but yeah, I trust Jamar Gibbs. He had 10 catches. You know, he still had a decent stat line. Yeah, so they're not as bad as they looked, I don't think. But I have Scatabo on the backside of that too, the big bruiser. I don't know. I gotta call him like Cam the Bruiser Scatabo or something. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, I was happy with Laporta. I had Laporta as my tight end. He had 6 catches for 79 yards. Really, the only way it would have been better is if he could have capped that off with a touchdown. But it was a pretty good game. But yeah, I mean, I think that this game was definitely a testament of potentially how we're going to see this division going. Obviously, the Lions could still turn around and beat them again in that second game, but I think this was a good indicator of maybe how that division is going to play out. I think the Packers are good. I think they're tough. So
yeah, I was gonna say there weren't a lot of touchdowns in general for the Lions on the field on Sunday. I mean, the thing with Micah Parsons, just to get back to that quickly, like, it's not just obviously he had the sack, he pressured Jared Goff into throwing a pick, but they're also, I mean, the Packers had 4 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss. Like, it's just clear when a guy makes everybody around him better, and like, whether it's, you know, his talent, like his disruption, or just the hype, like there's something going on the Packers D line. And like, after the game, when Parsons was interviewed, he was saying like, you can feel it, like, we're in it for the long haul this year. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm getting out here and just trying to go crazy. Like, I'm trying to settle in, trying to get to know these guys, and like, we feel it in the air. You can tell like he loves being in Green Bay. You know, friends with Jordan Love, and yeah, they're good vibes in week 1 in Green Bay.
I mean, I think they might have showed themselves as, I mean, I predicted this, that the Packers would play the Bills in the Super Bowl, and I don't know, man. It's hard to say after 1 week, but the Packers to me look the best. They were offensively solid. They defensively dominated not just a good team, a great team. They were 15-2, the Lions, last year. It's like, I mean, the Bills beat the Ravens, but they didn't play any defense. So I don't know, man. The Packers have. I looked up all the rankings of their players. They have the number 2 safety in the NFL from week 1, Evan Williams, who had a pick. Xavier McKinney's a great safety. Our corners played pretty well, Valentine and Nixon. And then on top of that, dude, you got Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Van Ness. You have elite edge rushers, all first-round picks. And I'm not even talking about the linebackers, D tackles. You just kind of break it down and say, wow, like, and I said this last week, but our roster is the best roster in the NFL, I think. The only thing I'd say is we don't have the quarterback that some of these teams have. So that's the only question mark for me, is like, we don't have Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar, some of these guys that are like elite. So I don't know. I mean, Daniel Jones, he way outplayed Jordan Love, right? Like, there's no question in week 1. But we'll see what happens. But I agree, Matt. I think what you said is spot on. It's he's for the long haul. He's making friends with these guys. He's disappointed by Jerry Jones because he kind of screwed him over, to be honest, right? He traded him right before the season started. He had to move to a new place, which I feel bad for Micah, but I'm also happy for him that he came to the right team, right? So, yeah, but they look great, man. I don't know, they look really good. So
He moved to the suburbs of Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin, because I've been to Green Bay a few times. I mean, it's not like a city. It feels like a suburb with a football stadium in the middle of it.
What better place to live than Ashwaubenon? Come on. But, I mean, I was at the Lions game at Lambeau 2 years ago, and like, this was a total 180 from what that game felt like. Like, they were just better than us at that time. They just like dominated the football. We couldn't stop them. They just ran the clock out on us, and this was just a complete kind of passing of the torch. So yeah, we got to keep it up.
what do you guys think of our offense with the Packers? Going back to the offense, it's kind of an interesting, like, we played okay on offense, but what do you think?
I think that's definitely the concerning side of the ball right now. Like, Love's got decent enough options. It's just gonna be. We were kind of saying this at the gym the other day too. Like, he just got to not try to do too much, I think. Like, trust the defense. Just kind of, it's really about executing the game plan at this point. I feel like he doesn't have to be a top 5 quarterback in the league for the Packers to beat most teams, if not all the teams, right? Like, just gotta be smart, be patient, control the football, trust the defense, and kind of see what happens.
I don't know if you guys have a lot of complaints after this week. I mean, Jordan Love threw for 188 yards. He had 2 touchdown passes against the Lions, no turnovers. You scored 27 points. I don't know if the offense is really much of a concern, especially against a team that I thought was going to be really good on both sides of the ball, and the Lions right away in week 1. I mean, I think that's a lot of really good signs for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a Dan Campbell interview where they were like, "What's your game plan for Micah Parsons?" And he said, "Nothing is changing." I think something's got to change. I don't know. I'm no professional, but I think something's got to change.
I think you're a professional. That makes a lot of sense.
No, I think the Packers are definitely going to try to build the defense around him just because he's just that kind of player. I think he's going to drastically change defense and how it's played in Green Bay. So, yeah. But Kyle, I just have to pivot here. You were hyping up the Seattle Seahawks in week 1. You were hyping up Sam Darnold, and to be honest, he didn't really have a great week 1 game. So I just want to get your opinion on that.
Yeah,
the Seahawks offense.
So I kind of, I said in the last episode, I believe the 49ers are really good. I believe Seattle's going to win that division. it kind of came to true. Like I actually watched because I have NFL replay, so I went back and watched the end of that game. Dude, Sam Darnold, yeah, he didn't look great. The 49ers defense, I talked about this. Robert Saleh came back to the 49ers. I think they're going to be really good. I think they're the class of that division. I said this a little bit, but Nick Bosa, Robert Saleh, dude, I'm a little scared. I hate that. I still remember when they beat us in the Packers. They beat the Packers down in the NFC Championship game, and Robert Saleh is up there. He's screaming, he's yelling, he's like, and dude, that's what's going to happen this year. It felt that way to me because I watched the end of that game and I'm like, wow, they are fast. They are, they look good. They look good on defense. So the 49ers, I just think they outplayed them, man. I mean, Seattle didn't play terrible, but yeah, they didn't look dominant by any means. Sam Darnold looked average. But I'm still going to believe in, like, once again, week one is a liar. I'm not going to be up or down on anything that I said. Same as Goggins, like he said the Rams are really good. They barely won against the Texans, right? The Seahawks barely lost against the 49ers. I'm not gonna get too up or down about that. I think that's 1 week. But I think Sam Darnold's good. I think he's still good. Nothing's changed from what I said last week. I just think he had a down week, but the 49ers I think are good, man. I think they proved that. I think they're ready to go. So that's going to be a bloodbath of a division. I still think the Rams are good. I've said this. I think they're right there. You got 3 really good teams. But yeah, I'm not gonna pull my plug on Sam Darnold now. If in 6 weeks he sucks, I'm gonna pull the plug. You get me?
You're gonna get off the hype train, the Sam Darnold hype train. No,
I will do it.
I think my take from that game is really both offenses didn't look that great. It was a low-scoring game. I think the defenses looked really good. I mean, Seattle's defense had 2 turnovers. I mean, I think that's really the biggest thing when it comes to like Sam Darnold and the Seahawks is like if your defense gets 2 turnovers to the other team's 0, you shouldn't be losing those games. Like you got to be able to execute and score points off of these turnovers, and they just weren't able to do that. I mean, Sam Darnold didn't throw any picks, but he was less than 50%, I think, on his passing. Or maybe he was just above 50%. He only threw for 150 yards. But Brock Purdy didn't look all that much better because he threw 2 picks, but he did have 2 touchdowns. He did throw for almost 300 yards. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think it's possible that these 2 offenses are just, like I said, they got like that week 1 hangover, and then the defenses just came ready to play.
Yeah, week 1, you got to remember, offense is behind the defense. So you saw that around the league. Other than the Bills-Ravens and the Steelers-Jets, I mean, every game was boring. I'll be honest, like almost every game was terrible offensively. And I knew that when I coached football, I always knew like week 1, the defense is probably going to be better than the offense. But I think specifically the Seahawks 49ers, they both have elite defenses because I said this last week. This is why I picked those 2 teams to make the playoffs. I think both of them have elite defenses. I think both have really good quarterbacks. It's like I really hope that Sam Darnold plays well. I like his story. That's part of what I like. I like Matt Stafford too, but dude, he's 37. He's kind of had his glory. It's like Sam Darnold had 1 good year. Hasn't really had the glory yet, so I just want him to have that. But yeah, dude, if he's miserable and terrible, don't worry. I don't like the Seahawks. They're actually one of my least favorite teams. So over the years I've despised them, but I picked them because I thought their defense was going to be really tough, and I just thought Sam Darnold might be really tough this year, but. I'm actually okay if they're terrible this year and they really don't perform because they're not my favorite team by any means. Same as the 49ers. I don't like the 49ers. It pisses me off. They're good. Nick Bosa is a freak though, man. That guy is like, he's scary. He's kind of like that Micah Parsons kind of guy. So if he stays healthy, I think they'll be they'll be pretty tough to deal with,
Yeah.
I think. But
Well, the 49ers and the Steelers are kind of like the old guard. Like they have a lot of Super Bowls between the two of them, but they're all from like a while ago. Like most of their Super Bowls are from a while ago. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the stats from this game, and it wasn't a good offensive performance all around. I mean, Seattle had 2 fumbles, and the 49ers had 2 picks that they threw. So,
Yeah, I mean,
4 turnovers a game.
a 17-13 Niners taking down the Seahawks with 4 turnovers. That's like the same Niners-Seahawks game that we've seen every game for the last 10 years, right? Like that's just kind of NFC West football to a certain degree. But like obviously we all hate the NFC West and every team in it as Packers and more as Packers fans. The Colts don't really care. But you got to give Sam Darnold like a bit of grace. He's been on 5 teams in the last 6 years. Half of those years like as a backup, right? But I don't know. Are we really surprised he threw for 150 yards? Like I'm not. That's the Sam Darnold that I remember from, the 4 years before he was on the Vikings. I hate to say it, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they can piece something together.
I don't know. I'm still a little bit on Kyle's side. I think Sam Darnold is going to turn it around. I think the Seahawks are going to be good. I think these are going to be some gritty teams. I think these 2 teams are going to be gritty. I think they're going to win a lot of games close. I think their defenses are the stars of the show. And I think the 49ers have been like that for a while. Like every once in a while, they'll have some explosive offensive firepower, but they win a lot of close games just from pure defensive play. So that's my take.
Yeah, and
I agree.
McCaffrey had a good game as always. He's always putting in yards out there.
Well, George Kittle had a touchdown, and then he got hurt. He's my fantasy tight end. So the 49ers have a slew of freaking injuries. I don't know what's going on. They got tight ends hurt. They got, receivers hurt. So I don't know, man. The Rams and the Seahawks seem to be the healthiest teams in that division, but the 49ers are still tough as nails, man. They just win. So they're all annoying teams, though. Let's be honest. I don't like any of them. So, if they all go 0-17, I'm fine. So my least favorite division, I would say. But
well, we know they all have 2 losses when they play the Rams, so we can take it from there.
Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know if there's any other games I want to talk about. I kind of want to just recap our week for fantasy football. I mean, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but obviously we got 3 losers on this podcast today. We all lost our first week game, but I'm the king of the losers because I scored the most points. So I'm standing strong
you
at
got
6th
robbed,
place.
man. Like I said, we got robbed over there. You can't score 150 and lose, man. That's crazy.
You're
Yeah.
like you're the Baltimore Ravens of week 1.
Exactly. I
You got what
scored
Lamar's got.
I scored 152, and I had Lamar on my team, and I lost just like Lamar.
You feel like Lamar right now, man.
I feel like
It's
Lamar
crazy.
right now. And the craziest part is the reason I lost is because of that game. It's because
Josh
of that
Allen
game.
took you out,
Yeah.
Lamar. You know
It's
what I'm
because
saying?
Josh Allen scored.
That is
40
crazy.
points.
Yeah, you had Lamar and they had Allen. That's
Yeah.
That's like real life right there. It feels like, man, that hurts, like just imagine how Lamar feels on that sideline right now, Hulk. He's just like, damn, that Josh Allen guy. My fantasy team sucked though, Hulk. Hulk, you gotta help me here, man. My team sucked. All right.
I think you scored like the least amount of points in week 1.
I had a rough week. Anyways, yeah, don't remind me.
But I mean, pretty much everything we said about my fantasy team in week 1 is coming true. I mean, Lamar is obviously great. Bijan Robinson, obviously great. He scored 28 points. But Cook, who everybody was sleeping on, he scored 22 points, just like we said. He's going to be great this year. Obviously, I think the weak points on my team this week were Terry McLaurin didn't score very many points. He only got a couple catches, 4 targets. They were playing the Giants. I was kind of hoping he was going to have a better game just because they were playing the Giants. I was kind of hoping the Commanders were just going to run up the score on the the lowly Giants. But yeah, I mean, the Eagles, obviously the defense didn't have a great game. They let the Cowboys score 20 points on them, which is, I mean, I think that's pretty embarrassing because I think the Cowboys suck.
I
Yeah,
agree. Yeah.
I'm dropping the Eagles defense this week, and I'm picking up Matt Goggins' Rams defense. Actually,
You can't. No, that's Goggins' defense. All right, you can't do that.
I already made the waiver claim. I'm picking them up. You know why? Because they're playing the Titans this week, so they're going to be
That's
the
a
best
smart
defense.
move, man. That's a smart
It's a
move.
smart move.
They might
Dude,
score
Hulk,
more points in the offense.
Hulk, you got a top 3 team right there right now as we sit here. I'll go into my team because Hulk's team's looking way better. Goggins' team's looking more hype than mine, so I might as well. I'll tell you about my loser team. So I got Dak Prescott, who had 12 points. He was terrible. But actually, he had a few throws that CeeDee Lamb dropped. So he had like a 40-yard bomb that hit CeeDee Lamb in the hands. I mean, I could have easily had Dak at 20 or more points, but unfortunately, man, his receivers were dropping the ball. Nico Collins only had 5.5 points. He's going to score 15 to 20 most games. There you go. Two guys that way underperformed. I'm done, right? T. Higgins at 6.7 points. Another guy, the Bengals offense didn't show up. I'm not sure what happened there. Jamar Gibbs had 15.4 points. He's gonna get crazy amounts of points this year. He got shut down by the Packers, like we talked about, but he had 10 receptions. They didn't run the ball well, but he'll have a great year. David Montgomery 8.7, not great once again. George Kittle had 13.10. He's hurt, but he had a touchdown. Devontae Adams had 9.9. Rams offense did nothing. So if you started any of their offensive guys, you didn't really get many points. Brandon Aubrey, kicker for the Dallas Cowboys, 11. Seattle's defense came through for me. They had 20 points. So they played really well. And then I had Justin Fields at 33 points on the bench. I'm going to start him, I think. I had Kyle Pitts at 13.9, tight end for the Falcons. He's going to start this week. And Cortland Sutton he's had about 19 points as my bench receiver for Denver. I'm going to bring him off the bench. And I got J.K. Dobbins, Denver's running back. He had 15.2 points. So I actually could have scored more in the 150-40 range if I would have started the right guys, which is on me. So
Yeah, I actually didn't leave. I mean, surprisingly, I scored 150 points. I didn't leave that many points on my bench. The only place I left points on my bench is I left 1 point on my bench. I should have started Tyler Warren. He scored 15 points this week.
By the way, Tyler Warren played really well. So that's one, Hulk, great job. But two, Tyler Warren's going to have a monster year. He played really well, I thought.
I actually think I'm going to let him sit on my bench for one more week. But I like how the Colts are using him because they're not just throwing him the ball. They handed him the ball a couple times on some like fullback dive plays. So we could be seeing some rushing touchdowns out of Tyler Warren this year.
He's a dog, man. He's better than I thought he was. I thought he was great coming out of Penn State, but he's better than I thought, man. So you got some great players over there, but yeah. I got to start better players, man.
Yeah. It's also tough that you played the team that scored the most points in the entire league this week. They dropped like 170.
They smacked me. Let's be honest. Week 1's a liar, though, boys. We're going to come back. Week 2 stronger than ever. We're going to come back with a vengeance.
Kyle, if you're looking to offload Dak Prescott, I don't know if I can do first-round draft picks, but maybe like a future 5th round, 6th round.
Okay. What are we thinking? No, seriously, let's do this live.
I'm thinking, in Cowboys tradition, I can give you like some 26, 27, maybe 2026 5th rounder, 2027 8th rounder. How's that sound?
Okay. Well, give me your 3rd string quarterback. Give me a 7th round pick in 10 years, and I'll consider it. Okay, I'm going to act like Jerry Jones right now. I'm getting serious.
All right. I want Jonathan Taylor, and I'll give you um my first round pick in 3 years for Jonathan Taylor. And then you gotta come on the podcast next time and say that you didn't even want Jonathan Taylor. He wasn't even even though he was your keeper, you gotta come in here and say, I didn't even want Jonathan Taylor. I was gonna get rid of him anyway.
And call him by
I'll
the
make
wrong
I'll make
name
you a
too.
deal.
Yeah.
I'll make
Yeah.
you a deal,
Call
Hulk.
him
If
Johnny
you
Boy.
Hulk, if you DM Jalen Hurts and tell him to throw the football to AJ Brown, I will give you Jonathan Taylor. How does AJ
You're
Brown have
right.
one? How does he have one target? That sunk the ship for me this week. AJ Brown one target. Mark Andrews one
you and
target.
I are the same. You and I are the same. I had Nico Collins, a top 3 receiver, nothing. AJ Brown, nothing.
I'm
I don't
telling
know,
you right
man.
now. I'm telling you right now. You need a bench Mark Andrews and get yourself a better tight end because Mark Andrews does not get any targets on that team. I've had him on my teams before. He just they don't throw him the ball.
No, you're right.
He-
But the thing is, like, I like Mark Andrews because he's a guy I look at, and I feel like what he's doing is attainable, right? Like, I feel like if there was one guy in the NFL who maybe I have a chance, in another life of being an NFL player, it's like a Mark Andrews, right? Like, I could maybe do 10% on what he's doing out there. So for my own morale, it's nice to keep him on the roster.
A big
The
white guy
one
that can run at a decent pace and catch a few balls. I get it. Okay.
Exactly, yeah. Can't dunk. Probably can't dunk.
Can't dunk
The
for
one-
sure.
he can't dunk. The one surprising I think aspect of your team, Goggins, is Kyler Murray. He had a pretty good week.
He's a good
Yeah.
fantasy guy.
He's a
Yeah.
fantasy sleeper. Yeah, he kind of just manufactures stats,
I mean, they did play the Saints this week. They kind of suck, so that might be part of it.
Yeah, it does
But
help.
they also barely beat the Saints. So I mean,
Well,
that kind of
yeah.
that kind of plays into our narrative that both of those teams are not very good. So we'll see. Hopefully, Kyler keeps producing for you, except for this week because you're playing me this week. So hopefully, he sucks this
Yeah.
week. But
Well, he's got
For
the
the rest of
Panthers
the-
this week. We're playing the Panthers this week, so I feel good about Kyler. I think that's probably
Oh,
another
dang.
20 plus point performance. So
man, you should have started Brock Purdy though. Actually, it was pretty close.
yeah, I'm surprised that
really that
Purdy.
much.
I'm surprised he put up as many points as he did.
Purdy's a good
Yeah.
quarterback, man. He's going to put up numbers this year.
Purdy's a good quarterback.
Purdy's going to outperform Kyler over the season, I bet. Just like for me, Fields will outperform Dak, so I'm ready for a trade. Go ahead. What do you want? No, I'm serious.
I have to look through the Lombardi squad.
Give me your. Let's see. What would Jerry Jones do in this moment? Let's see. Think about it.
I think he would give me Jahmyr Gibbs, and in return, he would probably take Mark Andrews, a big white tight end in Dallas. That's like as American as apple pie.
But here's the thing, Jerry would say in that press conference, I just really needed to solidify that tight end room. You get me?
Back to the fundamentals. We had
I don't need that running back. I just need to solidify my tight end room.
need some presence on the line. Let's get it done.
To give Jerry some credit though, the only credit that I can give him is the one positive of it is that if he would have signed Parsons again, he would have probably used up well over half of his cap just in that one signing for contracts. So it's like by not signing Parsons, he's got a lot more room to start picking some guys up and maybe strengthening some other positions. So that might be the one benefit. We'll see.
That's
I
true.
mean, I
He can
won't
pay-
hold my breath, but
He can pay a
that might be
lot.
the
He
one
can pay a
benefit.
lot of electrical bills with the money that he saved on the Micah Parsons
Oh,
deal.
yeah. They can keep the lights on in
Yeah.
in Dallas.
Yeah, they keep the jumbotron firing.
It's kind of like won't let Matt Goggins go. Jerry Jones should have done that to Micah Parsons. I'll move on. All right, Goggins, tell us about your damn fantasy football team.
My damn fantasy football team. I mean, there's not much to be said. We're kind of like, we're the old guys in the back of the locker room. A couple of us are smoking cigarettes. That can't be good for us. We I just don't know if we have our heads on straight. We're not getting many targets. We need some younger talent, Kyle. That's just kind of the long and short of it.
Well, who's your favorite player on that team? I mean, Kyler Murray's not
We're
your favorite
searching.
guy.
We're searching. I mean, Garrett Wilson showed some potential week one. I mean, Kamara, mediocre week. Taylor, mediocre week. AJ Brown did nothing. I can never pronounce his name. Achani.
Achane. Devin
Achane.
Achane. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
How
good.
about Taylor?
I mean,
Taylor underperformed and the Colts won by a lot. I'm going to read into that a little bit. I think he's going to have a mid-year.
well, they didn't need him.
Taylor didn't underperform. Like I said, he didn't play like the whole second half because we didn't need him.
No, I'm saying I think Danny Dimes is going to get a little bit more of the touchdown production. I think Taylor's going to have a good year, but he's going to have a mid-year overall. Like in fantasy, it's all about touchdowns.
Yeah.
Wonder if they use Danny Dimes, man, for all this running, because Danny Dimes is a runner. He's fast. We'll see. We'll see.
I actually don't know. I think we're going to be seeing. I think if week one is an indicator, I think that we're going to be seeing a lot more of JT in the passing game, because that was one thing that I really liked this week. And Daniel Jones is he wasn't afraid to throw the check down, and he actually went through all of his progressions that threw the check down quite a bit. And I mean, it's always nice when your check down guy is Jonathan Taylor. He can make a guy miss, and he can make something happen in the open field. And those little check down routes can end up being big plays. So I actually liked what I saw out of that.
How about Danny Dimes saying that his time with the Vikings led him to where he's at today? Did you hear that? That's freaking cool. Kevin O'Connell, the coach, for the Vikings. What a great quarterback coach, man. He can coach anyone in the NFL. So that check down stuff, that's all freaking learning from Kevin O'Connell, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right, man. I think Taylor's good. It's just do they steal his thunder a little bit with Daniel Jones? You even said it, Tyler Warren coming in playing fullback. Are they going to use that kind of stuff and kind of take away from some of his touchdowns? That's my only question.
Yeah, I just don't really see that right now. I think this game, it was more just we were winning so handedly. Like I said, he basically set out the whole fourth quarter. I think you give him that quarter. I mean, he's got a pretty decent game fantasy wise, yard wise, because we would have been running the ball that whole time to chew clock. And what he lacked in production on the ground, he more than made up for in catches and receptions. But I would argue that it's kind of a bad sign if the best player on your team is the running back. I think you would much rather the best player on your team be at the quarterback position. But anyway, that's just my thought. But Kyle, if you're in the market for a trade, you got some receivers on your bench that I might be interested in. Cortland Sutton, Michael Pittman.
Yeah, I think
if you just want to shoot a trade over my way,
I think we're going to be wheeling and dealing. I'll act like Jerry Jones. You guys just send me what you think, all right?
Yeah.
Crap back,
I think I had the worst take of week one, which is that I said Jerome Ford is a sleeper. I mean, he is asleep. He 6.
That's for sure.
6 rushes for 8 yards, 1 reception for -3 yards. What do you say about that? That's
a sleeper.
Concerning.
Yeah, that's a rest period after dark sleeper right there. Late at night kind of thing. All right.
He might still be a sleeper. Remember, it's just week one. He might turn it around. Probably not, but he might.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait a few weeks. You don't, man. Fantasy football is all lock one. Week one never tells you anything. I feel like I lose week one every year, and then you retool, you change your lineups. It's who can figure out the fastest, who are the best players on the waiver line, which guys don't make sense. Can you cut a guy that you kind of like? You know, you got to be able to do that stuff. You know what I mean? Like guys get lucky here and there. But let's be honest, we all know the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL every year. Josh Allen will be there. Lamar will be there. To be honest, you know, Dak Prescott probably won't be there, so I got to make some decisions here. But yeah, Kyler Murray.
Justin Fields might be.
Justin Fields might. Yeah, Justin Fields might be my guy.
Maybe top
Kyler
15.
Murray.
I don't know about top 10. Maybe top
Where's
15.
Kyler Murray gonna? You know, it's like he might be there in the top 10. He can run. He can throw. He can make plays on. Yeah, he can score some rushing touchdowns. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard. You got to guess almost, but Jalen Hurts is going to be there. I wish I would have drafted him, man. Jeez. He had a hell of a start, but yeah, I can trade some receivers. I mean, I'm actually open to trade Michael Pittman if you want Michael Pittman, Hulk. So you can look at it, but
I take Michael Pittman or Cortland Sutton because I don't know if I don't know. Like, I did look at Goggins' team. There's no one on Goggins' team that I want. So sorry, Goggins.
No
I don't
offense.
think we're.
No
I don't
offense.
think.
There are just some
No offense,
sleepers on
Goggins,
that.
but I don't think I'm in the market for trades from you. But
That makes
Kyle,
three of
Kyle's
us.
got some guys on his bench I'm interested in. Yeah, I mean Terry McLaurin just didn't get it done this week. I mean maybe that turns it around, but I mean I think I could use some additional help in the receiver room.
I'm willing to trade you Michael Pittman.
If you're in the market for a quarterback, Justin Herbert might come your way if I get the right price. If you're in the market for a quarterback, because I got Lamar, so I only need a quarterback
Lamar,
for 1 week.
Maybe I'll think about it.
No. If you need a quarterback, I mean, I think Justin Herbert's my best trade piece right now after scoring 33 points in week 1. So,
damn, yeah. No, you're right. We'll have to sit down and analyze, get some serious analyzing going on tomorrow.
You got Jay Fields, so maybe you don't need a quarterback. Maybe you just bench Dak and you're fine. But
I trust Dak. I think he's gonna bounce back. So
maybe maybe I trade you Laporta. You know, get Pittman for
Kittle, because I'd have to trade Kittle to you. I think. Get rid of an injured old guy, white guy.
I don't want to trade you a healthy tight end for an injured tight end.
I'll trade an injured white guy to you, I swear.
Okay.
I'll give you Mark Andrews for George Kittle.
Give me any white guy that can't dunk in the NFL. That's all I want.
I'll trade you my kicker.
Deal.
I'll trade you my kicker for George Kittle.
You know what? That's a good trade. I don't know. You know what? Kickers are a dime a dozen. I got the best kicker in the NFL, I think. So the back half of my roster is really good. I think Hulk has a good roster. I think Goggins, we got to work with you a little bit. We got to fix your roster up a little bit. And to be clear, it might turn around. It might be fine. My team just underperformed based on the stats. But Goggins, we got to get you a better, because you're old heads. I think you got to get younger, like you said. So maybe I trade you Scattaboo, the bruiser, get you younger on that running back side, see what happens. What do you think?
Hey, I'm all ears. It can't get much worse. We haven't won a game yet, Kyle. And like you've been saying, like you've been saying, week 1 is really just a sign of things to come, right? That's what you've been saying, right?
I think we gotta take this conversation off the podcast. Maybe bring it back in the next one, because we're right over that hour mark. So I think this is a good place to call it. But this has been the Rest Period Podcast, episode 2 of Rest Period After Dark. We'll see you next week. Next Tuesday, same time, same place.
Too easy.
See you boys on the waivers. Find me on the waivers.
I'll catch you guys. I'll catch you guys in the trading block. Well, not Matt, but Kyle. Peace out.